Hi, my name is Raza, and I started my entrepreneurial career while I was at my undergrad university. It's called LUMS, which is probably one of the best universities here in Pakistan. I was just in my junior year when a few friends got together to participate in an IEEE competition, and we thought that if we get into the top 10, the prize was that we will be invited to the US, and we thought it would be a good way to get to the US and visit it. We never made to the top 10, but we really liked the idea that we were pursuing. So we thought that we'll take it to the next level. This is when we were in our junior year at undergrad. We tried finding a few investors. We went to a few prominent ones, but we failed miserably at that. So we decided, why don't we start doing some software consulting and raise some money for our product idea? And so then we formed our first company when we were in our junior year. And we moved out of LUMS from hostels. We used to live there, and we got an apartment which became our office as well as our home. And we hired a few people. And so the company grew. And then in 2005, I started a company called Confiz, which is still around. It is one of the leading IT services company in Pakistan, employs about 200 people, provides software services to companies in the US, big companies that are in Fortune 500. I got involved with PakWheels back in 2008. PakWheels was a small site at that point, and I took it on. We hired the existing PakWheels team in 2008 when it was a small venture. And for the last 6 years, we have been running it, and we have grown it to one of the largest internet site in Pakistan. Over the last 12 months, we had almost 250 million page views. We had over 500,000 listings of cars, bikes, automobile. And it makes us the number one automotive site in the country where people can buy and sell cars, bikes, accessories. Our forums are super active. People are very passionate about their cars, so we have a lot of activity in our forums. People come share their trips on their cars to northern areas and other places in the world. They get answers to their questions, whichever they have about maintenance of their car, problems they face. Then some passionate car enthusiasts who are restoring their cars can come there and ask questions about sourcing a certain part of their car. So it's a very tightly knit community. And in order to enhance that, we have been doing some auto events in the country. We do about 3 events every year in all the 3 major cities. Our last event in Karachi invited about 100,000 people. And apart from this, I have started and dabbled in a few other products as well. Pakistan is 6th most populous country in the world. We have a lot of people here. And in terms of internet population, we are about at 25 to 30 million internet users in Pakistan. This number is expected to grow to 100 million by 2019. 100 million internet users. So we are not going to be we are not a small country. We have a lot of people. We have very young India or other part. Our demographics is a lot of young people. And they are all going online. So it's going to be a big internet market here in Pakistan. So when you talk about, so we might not be well known or we might be known for some other things, but we are actually a pretty big market and could be a very lucrative market for internet companies across the world. And so telling a bit about PakWheels, I think one of the primary reasons of PakWheels' success is that it was a first mover advantage as well. And PakWheels has been around for a very, very long time. PakWheels has been around since 2003 when it started out as a small little website where auto enthusiasts could connect with each other. And over a period of time, it has become a household name. So first mover advantage, very tightly knit community, lot of meetups, events, people helping each other. And so as they famously say that a brand takes 10 years to develop. So it's been more than 10 years and PakWheels is now a household brand. And then, internet population has been growing and we were there when people started coming online and this trend of, buying cars online started to take off. We were right there. We were the only one. And that led us to be in this position at this point. So we recently raised $3.5 million from a Malaysian-based investment fund, Frontier Digital Ventures. This is, though this might seem a very small amount for countries like Turkey or India or US or Western countries, but it might be surprising to some of your audience that this is the largest disclosed investment round in a Pakistani tech startup, which means we do not have a strong ecosystem for building startups and launching them, because availability of funding is a key component. So it was a very big milestone for us. It was a very big milestone for the Pakistan tech industry as well as the general country, that it's not a great time, and we still have been able to raise a significant round of funding for our ventures. So in terms of how we are going to use it, we are going to spend more on our marketing. There are 75 million more internet users expected to come online in the next 4 years. We want to make sure that they are aware of who we are and aware of our leadership position in this vertical. We are going to introduce more product lines, more services, improve our product. I think there's a lot of, and we are our office is just in one of the city, Lahore, whereas Karachi and Islamabad and other cities are also pretty big in terms of population. So we are going to expand our offices. In terms of international expansion, I think next few years we are very, very focused on Pakistan. And I think focus is something all entrepreneurs need to learn, and we usually lose it when we see something shiny new opportunity. So we are very committed to Pakistan and automotive vertical at this point. And once we get it to some point, then we can explore about other opportunities and avenues. So I think in order for entrepreneurs and startups to flourish in any area, it is very important for an ecosystem to be in place, which means that entrepreneurs with ideas need to exist, and then there are people who are willing to fund those ideas. Then there are people who can advise on those ideas, who have done it themselves, who have experience building such companies, and at the end, some sort of exit or a market for companies to go public or get acquired. This probably forms a complete cycle where people can build companies, get funding, get advice, and basically, exit or get the value from that venture. Pakistan, unfortunately, has a lot of component missing. So I think Turkey is doing a lot of event. There's a startup Turkey event coming up. There was a huge event that just happened, and I think, and that was probably the biggest event in Eurasia region. And so I think that is very, very valuable. For us in Pakistan, I get a lot of advice and help from talking to people in neighboring India. It's a very similar market. They have a better ecosystem. We get a lot of help by these events that are happening in Turkey. And I hope some of these events can start happening in Pakistan as well, where we can invite international people like Dave McClure came to Turkey and all these famous people, so that the spotlight turns on our country as well, and funding and all the ecosystem gets developed. Yes, so I know BookMe.pk, they were also at Startup Istanbul, and they raised angel round of funding. So BookMe.pk is a very good example of how Turkish ecosystem has helped a Pakistani company get angel funding. And it would be interesting for you to find out that all the companies in Pakistan, at least that I know of, startups, angel round, all have been raised from people outside Pakistan. So for us it is, and another interesting fact is that BookMe is focused on Pakistan. So it is a great thing for what Turkish Startup Istanbul event has done for them. And I'm sure moving forward, as these examples become bigger companies, more and more Pakistani entrepreneurs would turn to Turkey and try to do something similar till we have something going on in Pakistan.